Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Thirsty? The refreshment stand is open with everything to satisfy your taste buds. Here's the menu: the hottest, freshest, crunchiest popcorn, each kernel popped to its fullest with that real movie time taste. Cold drinks. You'll find your favorite ice cold, tasty, and thirst quenching. And hot dogs, hamburgers, and candy too. Now a short intermission, so you'll have time to make your selection before the show begins.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Top quality hamburgers, the most popular snack in the country. We serve them plain or garnished to your taste.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Just 1 minute to go.
And now, on with the show.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to my stream. Good to see you out there, Yogi. Nice to have you around. We've already had a rather unfortunate day. Had a super spewy fellow on our singularity table, doubled off him with an ace-high call early in the game. Very next hand, we got kings. He re-raises us pre-flop. We shove. He calls with jack deuce. Hits jack on the flop, deuce on the turn. We are done. In the we double him back up and go to almost zero at that point. Hung around for a little bit, but as you can see, we're not playing the singularity anymore. We're just playing two falling stars because that went really badly. On the other hand, the falling star, €1 falling star is going reasonably well. We just kicked off the €5 falling star, so we don't know how that's going yet. We're actually playing our very first hand there, which is, not a terrible first hand to play in a €5 bounty event, right? Evening, Ant-Man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always good to see you guys out there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming around again after Sunday, because I know I ended off Sunday pretty negatively. I apologize for that. It's a big deal. I was really emotionally invested in that, and I realize it's like really bad to be emotionally invested in poker tournaments, so I decided I can't play games like that anymore. At least not on stream. At least not where I'm not keen about it, because it gets twofold. Obviously I was really emotionally invested in going to the IPO, to the Irish, to going to hang out in Dublin for a bit and having fun in Dublin. But in part, it's also like a really big event for me, and I have noticed that when I'm playing stuff that's out of my bankroll, I get much more upset about losing, right? If it's it hurts more because it matters more to me, right? But it's interesting. It is definitely to do with the bankroll that I'm playing and quote unquote comfortable playing, because as I've moved up here, I used to be pretty unhappy when I got into a €1 or a €2 game and busted it back when I had, like a €50, €60, €70 bankroll. I'd be pretty unhappy if I got into a €1 or €2 game and busted it. So I was pretty cautious about the ones that I registered, and but now I register €1 and €2 games, and I'll rebuy €2 games, €1 games. I'll fire a bunch of bullets at them. I'll be continually firing all day at that levels, and it doesn't affect me emotionally because I'm not playing outside of my bankroll level. Games like the Satellite are outside of my bankroll level, so I'm much more emotionally invested in it, I find, and that's bad for poker, right? That's bad for your poker. You probably don't play as well, A, but B, the results make a huge impact on you personally and psychologically, and that's problematic, right? You can't be an effective poker player if the results are gonna crush your soul all the time, right? It's just not gonna work for you. So the end result, after some time of thinking and trying to figure out how to avoid being in those spots again, the main way to avoid being in those spots again is just not to play outside my bankroll, and to keep my strict bankroll management going. I'm in those situations. I'm obviously never happy to bust out, but it never devastates me. I'm never like, it doesn't crush my soul. And even, at a certain point, like I'm down $75 or something at this point. Yo, Night Shopper, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I'm down like $75 or something from my max bankroll level at this point, and I'm not actually that concerned. I can always drop levels. I'm still playing 1 and 2 euro games, which means I'm still pretty deep in my bankroll. My bankroll is still pretty conservative at this point. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is just a better way for me to keep my brain and my emotions in the game better. Alrighty, so we got a break coming up here. I'm gonna head off and do some stuff on the break, and we will see you very, very shortly after these commercial messages.
This is an egg, and I'm Julia Mead. And nothing puts that magic sheen in your hair like an old-fashioned egg shampoo. Except Richard Hudnut Enriched Cream Shampoo with real eggs powdered into the golden lotion to give all the magic sheen of an old-fashioned shampoo the easy way. See the clean and beautiful sheen on Louise's hair. You'll have it, too, with Richard Hudnut Shampoo. And to seal in that sheen, use this perfect shampoo finish, Richard Hudnut Cream Rinse.
Now, a new creation from Seal Test. Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions. Handy envelopes bring you brand new convenience and ease. Zip, it's open, quick and neat. Just the amount you need, the easy way to serve cottage cheese. The rest stays moist and creamy, ready for next time.
Are they handy? Cottage cheese in ready-to-serve portions.
So easy to use, quick, and no bother at all.
The rest stays really fresh, moist, and creamy.
Yes, serving cottage cheese was never as easy as this. Seal Test's new square package with handy, ready-to-serve portions. Zip, it's open, simple as can be. The rest stays moist and creamy fresh. You'll love Seal Test cottage cheese in new, ready-to-serve portions. Get some soon.
You know, with the help of a ruler and some ordinary household towels, I'm going to give you a simple demonstration right now. Just look at this, will you? The same number of towels in each of these stacks, and yet this stack is a full 3 inches high. Now, the reason, of course, is that the nice fluffy towels have been rinsed with Stay Puft laundry rinse. Stay Puft does away forever with the coarseness and scratchiness caused by too many washings. Just add Stay Puft to your last rinse water, and you can see and feel the difference as soon as your laundry dries. Terries like this fluff up to new life, and so does chenille. Woolen sweaters feel very much like cashmere, and even wash-hardened corduroy comes out velvety soft. And best of all, many pieces dry so wrinkle-free, they don't even require ironing. Try Stay Puft Rinse yourself and see what I mean. Now get either the handy full quart bottle like this, or the economical half-gallon size. Remember, Stay Puft is guaranteed to get your washable softer, fluffier, and more wrinkle-free, or your money back. Think Stay Puft Laundry Rinse.
By far the most important part of any television set is the picture tube. And that's why the names you know best in television use the best name in picture tubes, Sylvania. Yes, sir? Sylvania makes the picture tubes that are installed by the leading manufacturers in their sets right on the assembly line. Famous names such as Admiral, Capehart, Crosley, Emerson, Hallicrafter, Hoffman, Magnavox, Motorola, Philco, Stromberg Carlson, Westinghouse, and Zenith. From A to Z, they all use Sylvania picture tubes. And friends, when your television set needs a new picture tube, you follow the example of these leading set manufacturers we've just told you about and insist on Sylvania. You can be sure of getting Sylvania picture or receiving tubes wherever you see this Sylvania radio and television service sign. For right there is where you will find experts
with the latest up-to-date Sylvania test and repair equipment, and with those precision-built, pre-tested, and really long-lasting Sylvania tubes. So let this sign be your guide to skilled workmanship, to quality materials, and to fair prices. The Sylvania Radio and Television Service sign.
We are back a little early. This is the €1 Singularity, where we've got a pretty decent stack. 2.5x stack on that one. And this is, or not Singularity, Falling Star. And this is the €5 Falling Star, where we've got slightly more than start stack. After winning our first hand with aces and not playing anything else so far. So yeah, we're about €100 down on our bankroll, max bankroll currently. Good portion of that. For the record, I'm just going to make a comment about the ad that's running on the delay right now. So here's the thing. Over the two qualifiers for the IPO, I bought in for 633 euro buy-ins, which comes to 198 euros. In order to get those 33 or those 633 euro buy-ins, I spent 92 euros in real money to do that. So at this point in time, I've spent a third of a buy-in to bubble the satellite twice. So I don't think there's any plus EV way for me to keep playing for this satellite. That said, I could still go to the IPO and just buy in to the event. I mean, I'm not sure that I want to do that. But if it means that much to me, I certainly can, right? I'm going to put in a 3-bet here with my 9s in position. Probably call off action in this bounty to just run it down with my 9s. I think that's probably the best move in a... Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to run this down. I think we're going to be racing against over cards. We're going to be up against like ace X's sometimes, but we're going to be against under pairs as well. So sometimes over pairs, but yeah, sometimes aces. That's okay. I'm not hugely unhappy with that decision. I mean, he's obviously at the top of his range. That's the top of everybody's range, I guess. But he's obviously at the top of his range, right? So he doesn't need to be that. He certainly doesn't need to be that strong. 9s is probably a bit weak to call off there, and in a regular MTT, I'm probably not. But this being a bounty, there's extra of like 45 cents on the line there, so it's worth thinking about a little bit more and maybe calling a little wider there for the extra. So yeah, having spent 92 euros already on buy-ins for trying to win this free ticket, it seems like I'm very quickly losing value from that proposition. So we're probably gonna give up on trying to win IPO tickets. Is the whole point of that conversation. Certainly nice to see everybody here. I wouldn't normally be streaming on a Tuesday. You guys, of course, I didn't stream yesterday. If anybody's following my Twitter feed, you know that Sunday I, quote unquote, stayed up all night and drank all the beer, which is not an exaggeration, actually. Of course, I didn't drink all the beer in the world. I did drink all the beer in my house, however, and finally got to bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning, quite drunk, and didn't even get out of bed until like 11 a.m. the next day, which is when I normally start streaming. So I wasn't going to be starting on time no matter what happened. Then I've always got a couple of hours of work to do first thing in the morning when I get up for my social media job. So I got to the end of that, and it was like 1 o'clock, and I was still a bit hungover, and I'm like, yeah, no, there's just no way we're streaming today. So here we are on a Tuesday. I don't normally stream on the Tuesdays, but Ian's normally taking this time slot, and I'm quite happy to be sitting in his chat and chatting with him instead of streaming myself when he's on. So normally I would not be streaming today, but he's on a plane, I'm guessing, on his way back from Malta to the UK today, I believe. He's probably back on Thursday or Sunday, but for the time being, I'm gonna make use of the dead airtime and stream some Unibet poker for you guys. Stream some low-stakes Unibet poker. I can no longer call myself a nano player. I am pretty clearly outside the nanos now. I do still play them once in a while, the bigger nanos, but we are playing. We are definitely low-stakes player now on Unibet. Moving on up to the top. Yeah, that was a horrible rendition of an attempt at the Jeffersons theme song from the TV show of the 70s. I'm sure I didn't even get the tune right, to be perfectly frank with you. Oh, so one of the more interesting characters I met, or saw and met at the poker tournament I was at this past weekend. Let me see if I can find him. I'm not sure if I showed you this guy or not. If you follow the Poker News Canada Instagram, you'll have seen me make a comment about him when I did an Instagram post about him. I think I might have even done a Twitter post later about him as well. There we go. Is that him? So that's him, but it's not the best shot in the world of him. Why is that so fucking massive? Yeah, so this guy showed up at the poker tournament this past weekend. His name's Murray Lowe. I've got a better picture of him somewhere. Let me see if I can find a better picture of him. I think it's probably in pictures. While I do that, I've got a I can't find him right now. We do have an ace-king, or ace-queen suited here that we probably should have re-raised instead of just calling behind. I don't know if I can actually call off here anymore with just ace-queen. I probably can't. I probably have to fold. Probably have to give up my... I probably definitely have to now that there's a call. I can't be ahead of all three of these people. So I guess our ace queens just dead like a doorknob. Oh, Ian's not back until next Tuesday, so I got like tons of dead airtime is what you're telling me. I got like tons of free airtime to play with here. They don't stream the UK tour stops, do they? So I think in this spot, the eights are always a reshove on a bounty table. Wow. Ugh. And we're done. We are done. Like dinner in the €5 Falling Star. So you remember when I was saying it doesn't hurt when I bust like when I bust like 1 and 2 and €5 games? It doesn't really, but it's still fucking annoying when it happens like that. I think eights is probably a reshove there, right? I mean, in a bounty game like that where I've got the extra equity of the bounty on the line. I mean, maybe that doesn't take that much difference, but I'm like on the cutoff there, so I really can't expect the button, the small blind, or the big blind to wake up with massive hands that frequently there, do I? And at the end of the day, isolating and getting it in against the initial shover after the previous hand, he's I mean, sometimes he's going to be strong there, but he's got a very, very, very wide range that my eights are playing very well against, I think, there. And as it turned out, I mean, my eights were playing pretty good, although the ace came, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. But, I think I want to get eights in against ace eight like all day long in a bounty, right? So I don't know. I think it's I don't think it was a horrible. I don't think it was a horrible. I don't think it was a horrible play. But I'd be curious to see what you guys think. So I'll need to find something else to play, I guess. I was talking about how I don't play nanos anymore, and I'm probably about to play a nano. Probably the black hole nano, I think. €5 rebuy, still a little bit steep for my bankroll, I think. So I'm probably not going to play the big black hole quite yet, although I'll be starting to get into that range soon. We're going to start betting our pair here now. Ace bets the flop, so we're betting for value there, looking to get called by a 9 or a deuce or some of the draws. Let's actually play the Zenith. I won a Zenith a while back. They're a little bit faster structure than I'm usually keen on, but let's get the title correct. It's 100 euro Zenith, but we'll. And as you guys have probably figured out, I prefer a deeper structure than these Zeniths tend to be. We're definitely going to c-bet this flop. He can always have an ace, but he's not going to have an ace a lot there necessarily, and we've still got quite a few outs as we go to the turn and river, even if he does have an ace. So. Alrighty, so we've got to I do actually have one more €5 ticket for the IPO satellites, I just realized, so I will probably play that at some point and see where it takes me. If I get a 33 ticket, I might change my tune and play a few more of them, but yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the IPO sats. Yeah, I actually meant to re-raise pre-flop with the ace-queen suited, but I misclicked and I called when I was planning to. But in that particular instance, of course, looking at the result, I'm actually glad I didn't re-raise in that spot because the dude with the queens is just going to come back over top, and I just lose more money that way. I mean, I'm still folding, even if I raised that spot. I'm still folding, but yeah, I mean, in a bounty spot, I'm definitely going to think about that. We're definitely going to put money in here with our two pairs. Very disguised two pairs at this point as well. Although we're in the big blind, so we can have literally any two cards at this point. And he should know that. He can have literally any two cards, including two hearts here. So we could be value betting into the nuts at this point. But what are you going to do, right? Yeah, that's a good point as well, for sure. And I mean, maybe in that case, maybe in that case, if I raise and he shoves over my raise, maybe the other players don't get involved in the hand as well. Not that I don't think it changed it necessarily on that one, but. Well, I suppose I should do some. Like Twitter PR and stuff like that. Give me a few minutes here. Oh, I look like I've frozen. Have I frozen? Have I frozen? Okay, I'm back again. Maybe. Cool. Alrighty, so we have. Bear with me while I do some. PR for the stream. Put in arrays here with our 8s pretty much all the time, I think. Oh, just a sec. No big deal, just a sec. I mean, I'm not thrilled with that turn card, so I think it's time to start making sure that they actually want to keep playing this pot. We love the river, of course. almost back with you, folks. Almost back with you. Still just doing a little bit of Twitter PR. Alrighty, there we go. There we go. I am back with you. Yeah, I refreshed as well and it came back for me. Although it might be freezing up again. I don't know if that's on my end or... I mean, it looks like my OBS is still happily broadcasting, but... Get rid of the 4-6 suited, I think. So yeah, I won a version of this Zenith that ran at a later time. One of the ones in my evening. I played this and won. Or if I didn't win, I came second. I went really deep in it anyways. I can figure that out. Actually, by looking at my records, because I actually have records. Let's go to the deep runs. There was, yes, I won a Zenith and I came third in a Zenith. I've won a Zenith and came third in a Zenith. They're both two euro singular, or they were both 2 euro Zeniths. 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 Oh, I haven't started my uptime counter. I haven't started my uptime counter. Not that you guys can see it anymore, but with my new backgrounds, but it's better today than it was the other day, I think. Ah, Jill Tenney. I just noticed I got Jill Tenney on my Zenith table. That's cute. That is very cute. I'm going to try to see a flop with my 10-8 suited here. I don't hate that flop with my 10-8 suited. We got backdoor clubs. We got bottom pair. Not liking any of our straight draws really, but is one of you guys Jill Tenney? I'd rather y'all not be on my left, I gotta say that much, but no, I still need to sit down and read that article, Mike. I've probably do need to work a bit on my mental game. So, and I get what you're saying. So what I enjoy about poker is the challenge of the game. Where I have issues with poker is when the money I'm spending or the money I can win is life/bankroll changing, in like a huge way. Now I don't really think that the IPO was necessarily life changing, but it was a huge deal for me, and it was something that I was very keen on getting. And I think I do need to be able to manage my expectations better. I'm not sure, though, that I'm ever going to be the kind of person who can sit down and play poker with a crap load of money that matters to my, that matters to my place in life. I'm never going to be a degen gambler who's gonna be gambling with his last $10 kind of thing. I'm never going to be the kind of guy that's got a $10,000 bankroll and is willing to like roll 5,000 of it at a game or something like that, because that's always going to hurt me. It's always going to hurt me deeply when I lose that. So I don't think I'm ever going to feel comfortable. Thanks, Cleeds. Thank you. Welcome. But I'm just saying I don't think I'm ever going to feel comfortable rolling that big. Right now, I could totally see a situation where I've built up a bankroll of 10K that I'm comfortable playing with, and I'm therefore playing 100 euro buy-in games and not caring about winning or losing in a emotional sense. I'm caring about winning or losing in a competition sense, right? Um, so I think the key for me, and I mean, I'll have to read this article and see where he goes with the whole mental side of it. But I think one of the keys for me to keep a good mental game on my poker is just to make sure that I'm never playing outside of my bankroll ranges. And to make sure that what I'm wagering on the games and what I'm winning out of the games is what I'm comfortable being on the line for, if that makes sense. Oh, actually, we should throw up while we're here. I got some money to play. I got some more money to play on Run It Once, so let's throw that up and get some cash game action happening on Run It Once as well. I'm gonna call with my ace-5. Actually, no. I think we're gonna put him all in. We're gonna make him play for a stack if he wants to play. Oops. Wrong password. Wrong password. Alrighty, so let's get this configured. Looks like we're in trouble in the Falling Star. We had a really small bankroll there anyways, but we are out of the Falling Star. Or the, yeah, we're out of the Falling Star. So there's our €4 buy-in game on the Run It Once. We got this money from where did we get this money from? Social media contest, I think, where we were retweeting some of their social media stuff. Yeah, I think we're just going to give up our money here. Probably shouldn't have called in the first place, but I can see where it could be harder to find original Elrond names. So I think we're just going to call all in with our ace-queen here. Pretty good shape for us there. I actually won a pot on the cash table. I'm going to fold my suited king here. I haven't heard anything about a UOS. Haven't heard anything about another UOS yet, but looking forward to it when it happens. Yeah, I mean, I suppose there are like tons of ways you can tilt, and I guess I guess learning how to deal with them individually is probably useful. But yeah, one of the more interesting forms of quote-unquote tilt, and I'm not even sure if you call this tilt necessarily, but one of the more interesting forms of quote-unquote tilt that I've had is the kind of tilt you get when you're feeling invincible and you're feeling like you can't lose. So you start making really wide plays. So I mean, I think our ace can still be good here some of the time. So I think Avery can definitely be playing position at this point, with that being a C-bet. No, I think he's talking about the Unibet Online series, not the Unibet Open. I'm probably gonna still try for Unibet Open tickets, but again, I think it's not something I can invest a lot of emotional architecture in. With the 7 on the river, I have to call here. Too many draws didn't get there. He's going to be bluffing a lot from position, so I think I just have to call here and lose to people that hit. Oh, kings. Yeah, I could totally see that, Shopper. I totally. Well, and I also think getting so deep both times, getting like to the bubble both times, makes me feel like I've got the edge to play the game. That said, I mean, again, I have to go back and have to remember. I mean, let's be clear. I should have never even been that far in, right? I mean, we got our money in bad with that straight flush draw, and we got there with the straight, right? So that was like ages before even we were even close. So in theory, we should have been busted a while back. Let's see what happens with this 7-5. We flopped the flush draw, so we're definitely not going anywhere. Let's take the free turn, though, I think. I don't think we need to bluff this. We take the free turn. We like the free turn. We like the free turn a lot. We are loving the free turn. So we're going to call behind here, see if he can throw a bluff in on the river. Hopefully we don't see a spade, because a spade is gross. If he he can easily have a bigger spade than us. We like the, we're not thrilled with the board pairing, but we're certainly a lot happier with the board pairing than we were with a 4 spade, that's for sure. We can't raise anymore because I think we just call behind here. It's possible that someone's been talking about it. I don't recall hearing, but it's possible someone's been talking about it. Yeah, well, and that's normally the way I play poker. Knight and Ant-Man. My entire philosophy with poker is that if you're playing with money that matters whether you win or lose, you shouldn't be playing. You should already expect that your money's gone when you sit down at any poker table. That's the way I always look at it. But yeah, I was definitely in a spot there where I had more invested than just the buy-ins in those events, and I need to be very cautious about how that how I go with that. Oh no, this is Run It Once. This is yeah, Run It Once. This is Phil Gelfond's site. They gave me free they gave me free money. Oh, we got a splash pot here. We got a good hand for a splash pot, so we're definitely gonna put some money in here and try to win this extra 12 cents. So we got a call from position. It's a nice sized pot, and we're in a pretty good spot to win some money out of this. So I'm going to put in a half pot bet here, I think. A little bit less than half pot, actually. Let's go with 22. So, I mean, another ace is obviously going to call me there. So are pairs under the ace, most likely. I think we're in check call. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that you remember that you get there sometimes as well as them getting there sometimes. So I think we have to value bet our aces at this point. Trip aces. Oh, that's actually a really interesting way to do bankroll management, Shopper. I might have to think about that. Basically, I don't actually look at because my buy-ins are in the 100 and 200 buy-in range for my bankroll usually. Like I've got a 230 some odd bankroll at the moment, and I'm Jack 10 suited. I think is a hand that we probably want to see a flop with. And we're not unhappy with the flop we see. We're probably going to have to call a c-bet. We could raise. I think Avery's going to be calling us. Pretty happy with that card, obviously. Yes, UO Paris is definitely a possible next goal. And again, I want to go. I still want to play for those big tickets. But I just have to figure out a way not to be so emotionally invested in the outcome of getting the ticket. I have to figure out a way not to care about whether I go to the Unibet Open or not, right? And developing on the Zenith table at the moment. For the record, I'm astonished that I'm actually up money on the cash table, so I might just quit now while I'm ahead. And in fact, if I quit now, actually, I am actually, well, maybe. No, I'm going to keep playing it. I was saying I could quit now, and I actually have enough for 3 buy-ins on my bankroll, because one of the problems is you have to actually buy in for an exact amount, so you have to buy in for €4. So if you have less than €4 in your bankroll, you can't buy into anything. It's kind of a weird situation. So it just sits there if you have less than €4. I had €11, which means I could make one €10 buy-in or 2 €8 buy-ins with like €3 left over. If I quit now, though, I would actually have 12, which would give me 3 full €4 buy-ins in my bankroll. So it might actually have been worth. Might actually be worth thinking about quitting, but. Put in a raise on the raise and take it on the from the small blind. They call me loose passive on the put in a raise on the Zenith table. We're definitely going to call off Sport Mind here. We're probably not in great shape, but I think we have to, given the pot odds. We get there. So we're getting there in the Zenith one. I mean, I can't really whine later when if things go horribly wrong for me in the Zenith. We were just in pretty bad shape there. Undercards against overcards, and we get there. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure I'm not great at it either. Like, part of the deal with me, like I say, I'm absolutely not, don't have the same mindset as most poker players who come to poker from gambling. I come to poker from a completely different side. I come to poker from a competitive angle, and I actually not a big fan of gambling, frankly. So to me, the money, you need to see the money in poker as game pieces, not as money. And for me, because of my mindset, the only way I can see the money as game pieces and not money is when it's in amounts that don't make a difference to the rest of my world, if that makes sense. And I need to see the results in very much the same way. I.e., the results are not something that is going to make a huge impact on my life or not. Because when it makes a huge impact on my life, it becomes meaningful to me, and that makes it more difficult for me to get through it. Alrighty, I'm going to head off on a break. And we will be back in a few short minutes.
George, let's take a break for a minute. I want to see that beautiful car again, and you know the car I mean.
I certainly do. So let's go out to the Chelsea Proving Grounds and see the magnificent new 1955 DeSoto. Well, here we are, and there's the car. The key word this year, Groucho, is style. Sleek, taut, modern style. This new DeSoto is mighty fast-looking, eager and new and different. Designers talk about its taut, surging feel and look of power. Well, to you and me, it just looks like it wants to get out and travel. This is the smartest DeSoto we have ever built. Longer, lower, and comfortably wider. Added inches give the car a long, slim, modern style that's new and different on the American scene. Take a look at the new, smooth slope of the low hood. The big, graceful new grille, headlights, bumpers. Perfect examples of modern, smart style. Huge glass areas, front and rear. Of course, this year again, DeSoto offers you your choice of all full power assist features. And hang on. This year, for the first time, DeSoto offers you two great V8 models. The mighty Fire Dome V8, now raised to a full 185 horsepower and at a completely new low price. And the super-powered Fireflight V8, 200 horsepower worth of flashing automobile. Fire Dome or Fireflight, DeSoto's really got it this year. See the 1955 DeSoto tomorrow at your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Hello there. Say, here's something you should know about washing machine products. Any good product will get your clothes clean, including the new detergents. But this product does far more than that. Does a wash like no detergent can. Now, Does not only scrubs out the toughest dirt, Does leaves your clothes softer, smoother, and Does is so kind to your hands. And do you know why? It's the soap in Does that does it. Finer, richer soap than in any other leading wash day product. Now, this towel was washed in Does, and take a good look. It's really clean, really white. And see how soft and fluffy it is? Does leaves it wonderfully soft, softer than any detergent can. And remember, Does leaves your hands smooth, too. No detergent can do all that. It's the soap in Does that does it.
Fresh stick. The full-strength antiperspirant for difficult cases. Fresh stick, the full-strength antiperspirant for difficult cases. Now, if you're one of those people that is, constantly shifting from one deodorant to another, if you consider yourself sort of a difficult case, then believe me, this is awfully good news for you. Because new Fresh Stick gets underarms dry, really dry, in just a matter of seconds. And used daily, it ends all danger of perspiration and odor. And yet, it's perfectly safe for normal skin. As a matter of fact, unlike most antiperspirants, it's non-acid. This is as acid-free as well as a fine, mild facial soap. So, stay fresh as a daisy all day long. Just get new Fresh Stick, the full-strength deodorant for difficult cases. And you'll find it in the little glass jar with all the pretty daisies on it. Now, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that the makers of Fresh Stick also make Fresh Cream deodorant. I want you to look at this. See there? It actually looks fresh, so clean and white and nice. Unlike all those ordinary messy creams, Fresh Cream deodorant is the neatest and, above all, the neatest to use and the nicest that you ever saw in a cream deodorant. So, get yourself either Fresh Cream deodorant or Fresh Stick deodorant, either one, because they'll both keep you fresh as a daisy all day long.
We've been playing the cash game still on our break here, doing reasonably well. We're up $1.40. cash table, which is totally unusual for us. I got a €6 cash ticket I have to play on the in Unibet as well, actually. So I'll have to go ahead and do that at some point this week too, which I guess I'll do on the stream. I mean, I think we all make the same mistakes over and over again. That's what makes us human. You know, I'm guessing that if I was to sit down and get, I mean, heaven forbid this be the most embarrassing thing in the world, but if I was able to get Dara to sit down with me and go through the hands on that satellite table, that qualifier table that we played for the IPO, I'm sure there's half a dozen or a dozen spots that I played horribly, that I either folded hands I should have shoved, or called with, or I called in spots that I shouldn't have called with, and I got there. So yeah, at the end of the day, I ended up with a hand where queen sucked out on me against my aces on the river there. There's probably half a dozen or a dozen spots where I've just played horribly to get to that point, but still managed to make it. So, you know, it'd be super interesting from a learning perspective. I mean, if you're just going to hand me your stack like this, I guess I have no choice but to reshove over top and take your chips if I can. Oh, aces v kings. How gross for him. How gross for him, how good for us. I do have to play through my €10 bonus relatively quickly, though, on Run It Once. You got to play through within a week, and I think I'm a couple of days away from that week now. So I'm going to have to play through it, or else it's going to disappear. We got a splash pot here, I think. What do we got? Extra €4? Yeah, nothing major there. Nothing major there. Extra 4 cents. Extra 4 cents in the pot. I think we'll take a stab at it anyways. Interesting question. Yeah, probably not enough to keep going there. Put in raise again there. That's gross, Night Shopper. Always feels bad, right? And I know I'm gonna feel pretty. I know I'm gonna feel pretty awful if I ever blow away my bankroll as well. Um, Chasing losses is tough once you start thinking it's you need to get it back. You're gonna be in some trouble, I think. But I've seen you play, and it's you certainly play well. So I think it's more a matter with you. I think it's more a matter of your I think it's more a matter of your bankroll management than your poker side. One of the things I like to say is that tournament poker is at least as much a bankroll management game as it is a card game. Um, yeah, the cards and the individual hands make a huge difference in where you go, but playing within your bankroll, it's not as dramatic when you win, but it's not crippling when you lose either. So it's there's and if you're playing bankroll right, it's big enough when you win that it matters. You know, so. So we're kind of at crunch time here in the Zenith, and I don't have a lot of moves other than to be shoving on people. I don't think. This is going to be an embarrassing thing to say. You're talking about putting a percentage of your winnings into PayPal. I've never done a withdrawal from a poker site. All I've ever done is put money onto poker sites. Now, I don't necessarily see that as a terrible thing because I've generally seen poker and my play as recreational. So if I'm spending $100 a month on that sort of recreation instead of on other kinds of recreation, then I'm not that upset with it, frankly. But yeah, it'd be cool to actually make a withdrawal at some point. And to be honest, there was a time when I was focusing on the mixed games on PokerStars that I was definitely making a profit on them, but it didn't last all that long, and I've frankly never. I've been a break-even player at best on other sites, and a break-even player that doesn't quite make the rake, so that's why I end up depositing rather than withdrawing. And Unibet is the first. This time playing on Unibet is the first time I've ever been a clear winning player. Miss Ratian, hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing I sort of have to understand is that I don't, I'm not going to be, I'm never going to be Jungle Man Cates, right? That's never going to be my lot in life at this point in time. I'm never going to be C. Darwin or any of the online crushers. I'm never going to be a quote unquote great poker player. Sort of what I'm shooting for is to be an entertaining place for people to come spend some time and watch some poker get played. And if I can make a small profit in the process, that's awesome. If we can have an entertaining stream, that's really what it's all about. So. Guess we wanted to be in that hand. Got a raise from our aggressive bubble button guy. Which I think we're going to put in a bet here, because I think we're against an ace X, and we can get an ace X to fold sometimes. If we are against an ace X, then we're behind. We could also just be up against garbage that didn't hit anything. Yeah, ace X. Seems like a pretty weird bluff there on the river, but seems like a weird bluff there on the river. Who knows? I'm not a cash game player, so I don't know. Oh, I totally know that feeling, Night Shopper. It hasn't affected me as much lately, but I get really attached to my bankroll graph, and when it starts to drop from the max level, I mean, if the max is here and I'm just like doing this, I'm not that concerned. It doesn't bug me, but it's like when my max bankroll is here and I'm like down here, it really starts to affect my my mood, or it has in the past. The moment, and I think maybe it's because I know that I blew 92 euros on that whole IPO debacle that didn't work out for me, and it's about 100 euros that I'm down on my bankroll from the max bankroll at the moment, give or take. So we're like close to par on those two numbers. Maybe I'm not that upset about it, and 230 or 220 euro bankroll is still much bigger than I was back before I had the big increase to 300 to plus 300. So hasn't affected me the same way as before. But you're right. I'm normally in a spot where I'm normally in a spot where my bankroll graph affects how I feel and how I play. I don't like it when it starts to drop. I don't like it when it starts to look lower than my max. I think it's super easy to do, Night Chopper. Oh, I don't feel like I could fold deuce 3 on night, or shove deuce 3 on Night Chopper. That feels just feels wrong. Not so much wrong from a moral perspective, but wrong from a bankroll perspective to shove deuce 3 on Night Chopper in that spot. Of course, we don't actually know that it's Night Chopper, but we think it probably is. Gonna see that. Oh, you guys aren't watching the game that's on, but I mean, we could be just up against Ace Jack or something here, but I think our sixes are good most of the time. Alrighty, we're just confirmed. Jill Tenney is Night Chopper. That's just confirmed in chat. Put in a raise on the run at once table. King, queen, off suit. And we take down the blinds. I definitely try not to criticize other players. Well, yeah, exactly, yeah, man. I mean, I can't. I know logically I could never always be at the max bankroll. That's absurd. I'm always going to be lower than my max bankroll. That's what max bankroll means. It's the maximum bankroll you ever had. So yeah, it's weird that we get, but it's weird how we get emotionally tied to. It's weird how we get emotionally tied to all that. Yeah, it's like that's the whole definition of. It's the whole definition of max bankroll, quote unquote. We are 5 away from the money for the record in this Zenith game. We are sitting 4 of 11 with 6 places getting paid. Yeah, I'm especially when I'm playing cash, I'm not able to play much more than 2 or 3 tables tops these days, Ant-Man. Yeah, exactly. And it gets a new max and it drops again. It's funny. I never even end a day on the max bankroll because I've almost always hit the max bankroll from an earlier buy-in and then bought in later in the day. So the timing of my buy-in shows that I hit the max bankroll from a buy-in in the middle of the day, and then I bought in a couple more times, so I'm down 2, 3, 4 euros or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, yeah, you got to be careful about that too, I think. I don't have anybody else who ever accesses my bankroll, so. Uh, just doing a little bit of Twitter stuff, so I'll be back at the chat in a couple of seconds if people are saying things. Well, we're pretty short-handed on this table now. And I have to say that Queen 10 of Hearts is a pretty strong hand on a three-handed table. Yeah, I think we're just in check back mode at this point. If he has the ace or the queen, we're just in, or the ace or the king, we're just in bad shape. I think I'm going to get out of this. I think I'm going to get out of this table in the run at once for now. It's been fun, but I think I want to play three-handed. That was fun. I actually have three buy-ins now instead of just two. So that was nice. We'll do a little bit more of that later, maybe on another stream for sure. Just gonna tweet about it. Yeah, I sort of have to know exactly what my bankroll is, so I know what what level of game I'm buying into that day. Oh, we're in the money in the Zenith. I hadn't realized. We hadn't realized we made the money. Unfortunately, Jill Tenney did not get there with us. Unfortunately, it does not look like. Should have been paying more attention to what was going on, but we are now on the final table and in the money of the Zenith. $33 up top, so that's not terrible. It's better than a smack of the nuts with a frozen squirrel, that's for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Just felt a little wonky for some reason there. I'm not exactly sure why it felt so wonky, but it just felt wonky. And it turns out it was wonky. Alrighty, so we've laddered up now. We are guaranteed 848. We are 3 of 5, but we're not far off of in one double up against either of these guys, and we're in pretty good shape. Well, I mean, we don't really have any other move with 14 big blinds, right? Especially not shoving into 11,000 chips. Like I say, I've already won one of these. What's the percentage? He's just trying to steal here. I fold my big blind a lot. Do you want to play for your stack, buddy? Do you want to play for €8? Didn't think you wanted to play for €8. Not with a min raise like that. Yes, here in Canada, frozen squirrels are a very serious problem. Yeah, no, Night Shopper. I'm glad you feel comfortable to chat about this sort of thing in chat, because we're here to help each other. You know, I get through some of the days like Sunday because you guys are here to help me. So, you know, and I wouldn't otherwise. So thank you for that. But that's what we're here for, and I want to be here for you guys as much as anything else. So I'm glad you guys all, you know, I'm glad we all come together for that. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. It's one of the reasons why, as much as I'd like to grow the community, I'm actually not that unhappy with a really, really, really strong core that sticks around 12 or 10 or whatever. You know, we're friends coming together and having fun together, and that's more important to me than an audience, if that makes sense. I'm in this to entertain for sure, but I'm also, it's ICM suicide for me to play that hand, for the record. I don't know why I was even thinking about it. I'm certainly in this to entertain people, but I'm actually in this to build a community. I wanna put together a bunch of people that enjoy hanging out together and enjoy playing poker together, and enjoy watching poker together. So yeah, if we can do that, then I'm pretty happy with the situation. Alrighty, so we are four-handed now, guaranteed. Probably more than 10 euros now, I would guess. Wait for it to update, but yeah, guaranteed 11 euros now. Not really satisfied with 11 euros though. Jilly alias confirmed. Jilly 10. Jill Tenny? So this won't give us a new bankroll max no matter how we do. We're quite a bit below our bankroll at the moment, thanks to our fun little foray into the IPO satellites. But it's definitely gonna help our day, and it's definitely gonna help our total bankroll and total week. So if I'm gonna raise with 5-6, and that flop comes, I guess I got no choice but to shove. Well, I guess we can say we should probably want to be in this. Ooh, oh, we would have been crushed. We would have been crushed in that hand. I'm glad we were not playing our King 5 there. All the kings were out, and the other king was way better than ours. So we're up to 1695 guaranteed now, in third place out of 3. Yeah, for sure. The small communities. I mean, and again, that's why I don't really care about growing the community to massive sizes. Yeah, I guess there's like monetary value and things like that to being the size of a Jamie Staples or something, and I love what he does. But yeah, it's really hard to keep up with chat, I'm sure, for him and things like that, and it's really hard to just keep an actual community going, right? Thank you, Shopper. Thank you, my friend. We will do our best to take it down. Our best we shall do. want to get a hand I can incredibly shove into him, but I mean 6-8. 6-8 of spades. It's a pretty hand. Probably not quite enough to call off with there. Even three-handed. That's a shove spot for sure. That's a shove spot for sure. I think we're pretty happy with that flop. All that work just to lose it for a hand that I could just as easily have folded. Well. And then we just lose it all against a random Jack X hand because we got no choice but to get it in. 16.95, not terrible. Not a terrible way to end the day. I'm not unhappy. Let's add that to our results. We got 0 in that one. But we did get 16.95 for third place. Which means we ended up with a small profit on the day of $6.95. Not terrible. 69% ROI, 70% ROI. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm probably going to bring this puppy in for a landing, though. It's been a good day. I will be back again tomorrow. I think I'm going to stream all week, actually. If Ian's not back until next week, I think I might stream all week. So you might see me tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and/or Sunday this week. We'll see how ambitious I get. But yeah, I've got some run at once cash to play. I've got some Unibet cash to play. We got stuff to play, so we'll be back. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. I think appreciate you coming here and hanging out with me and being being buddies with me. So thank you very much. I'll run out. For more vintage poker content from Mothership Poker, click the subscribe button and check out the playlists for all of our old archived content, as well as the ads-only cut from some of the early streams.